time is fucking insane.
I will never be white from existence. I'm too fly, got in my witness. Eye for sight of my business. I can't lie, I'm not above vengeance. Some shit I'll never forget, and never again am I giving forgiveness. Dead to whatever that prey on my image. None can afford me, not eating a percentage. Got a lot of unused ammunition, but so far I've only completed 2 missions. Bouncing around these alternate dimensions and pushing the limits of human cognition. I came to Earth for way more than a visit. My value greater than 9 or 10 digits. Everything's going just how I intended. Now I hit my pose like a wrestling entrance.
Chat. The Mariners bend, but they do not break. What a game from the boys in this one. I mean, just a classic pitcher's duel that we saw here. There's not, honestly, much to talk about in this game. The Seattle Mariners scored in the first inning. You had Randy Arozarena get on base, steal second, and then Josh Naylor comes up big with that single to right, like I think it was right center field. That ended up scoring Randy from second base, and that's huge because you saw Cal not be able to come through. You saw Julio not be able to come through. Josh Naylor is that guy. Josh Naylor is clutch. He comes in and he delivers for this team, and that's exactly what he did in this game. And then George Kirby, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no walks, no earned, with the 7 strikeouts. George, Furious George, if you will, is back. Azaria with the 15 months. Never didn't have it, dude. Appreciate the 15 months, George. Absolute legend. We get some smooches, bros, in the chat room for George. Yeah, I mean, this is a game where with how good, speaking of George, with how good Kirby pitched, you had to feel pretty good about this one. He's able to go 7 innings. You only had to cover 2 innings with the bullpen. Now, that ended up being Edward Bizardo, Gabe Spire, and Andres Munoz, but nonetheless, they were still able to get the job done. Matt Brash must have been down today. They probably wanted to give him consecutive days off. I understand that. He has pitched quite a bit recently. He is still kind of building up from that injury. $2 from Mike. Says, re-sign Naylor so I could buy a jersey. How many people here would buy a jersey? If the Mariners were to re-sign Josh Naylor this offseason, how many people here would buy a jersey? I'd certainly consider it. Also, if you guys can't tell, it's hot as hell, so that's why I have the AC on. So sorry if that's a little loud, but it's either that or I would be dying of heat stroke. So, but yeah, all around good game for the boys. Obviously, wish they could have scored more off Dean Kramer. Something about Dean Kramer versus the Mariners, it's like Mike Trout versus the Mariners. There's something about Kramer and the Mariners that just he feels very comfortable pitching against them. He's been great versus them, and he did it again today, going 8 innings pitched. So, unfortunately, the Mariners weren't able to get to him, and tomorrow they have a lefty on the mound and Trevor Rogers. So, it's 104 in here, over here, buddy. Well, listen here, Creed. All right, this place is like a sauna in here. All right, 1K light. What, Mike? What? That's 8 in a row, chat, for this Mariners team. Now we need, of course, the Astros to lose tonight. Yo, Dorian with the 24 months, 2 years. 2 years for Dorian. Damn, that's crazy. Up late, just winning my streak, yo. Dorian is spitting right now. He's spitting. Somebody commented on one of our last videos calling him Thicky Henderson because all the bases he's stealing. Thoughts on Thicky Henderson? Yeah, we're big Red Sox fans today, guys, for sure. I think that this team has the firepower to play like 600 plus ball the rest of the way. I really do. And I think that pretty much, I mean, let's see. How many games are left, chat? Hold on. So the Mariners are 67 and 53. How's that math work out, chat? I'm not good at math. 67, 53. So that's 100. So there's. Hold on. This should be easy. So there's 42 games left. There's 42 games left, chat. Let's say, how many of those 42 games do you think the Mariners need to win to guarantee a playoff spot? If they go 20 and 22, so if they go 21 and 21, that puts them at 88 wins. 88 wins. I think that they could do better than 21 and 21. I really do. I think they play better than 500 ball the rest of the way. But I think that 88 wins gets you into the playoffs. Thanks, guys. I'm bad at math. Thank you. 54%. Mara knows. 54%. It's true. That is 54%. 22 and 20 is 54%. I think that's actually a little over 54%. But yeah, I mean, they need to go, 23 and 19 to win 90 games. I think that is really possible. Like, I truly think that's possible. Brody says, I went and my Maryland streak continues. For the past 3 years, I've gone to Baltimore and they win. Tridents up, boys. Brody, I need you to be there every single day. Thoughts on that? It's okay, Creed. Smooches, bro. We need 55%. I think that if so 23 and 19, I think is absolutely doable the rest of the way. I really do. Like, I think that if you can win 90 games, you might lock up the division. Like, truthfully. Now, of course, a lot of that has to do with, how the Astros play the rest of the way. But this team has a real good chance to win this division right now. If they go 30 and 12, they'll win the West. Man, I hope that if this team was to win 97 games, I would hope that they would win the division. Who's your unsung hero of the day? Hold on. Gotta plug my phone in. It's about to die. Unsung hero of the day, huh? Well, so I'll give you guys my 3 stars of the game, which we always do, and then we'll do unsung hero of the game. So 3 stars, it's pretty simple. Josh Naylor, George Kirby, and Andres Munoz. But I also think that that Andres Munoz is the unsung hero of this game. Good for him. Like, we'll talk about Mooney here in just a second. Tyler Franco with the $5 says, scoreboard watching without the fear of losing your playoff spot feels so nice. Yeah, it feels pretty good to not have to worry about it. Nicholas says, everybody falls into the same trap every year when we're doing well by starting to talk about the World Series. I mean, Nicholas, listen, bro. Like, if you can't be excited about a World Series, like, let people have things, you know what I mean? Let people be excited about things. Thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. Maybe Randy. Yeah, Randy's a good shout as well. Randy is definitely an honorable mention. I think, being able to get on base and steal that bag. Like, unsung hero, I think since we gave Munoz the 3rd star of the game, I think we have to give unsung hero to Randy for being able to steal that money bag and then obviously scoring on that hit from Josh Naylor. Let's talk about Munoz, chat. So it was a little worrisome. Obviously, we saw the trainer have to come out. I would assume that he was just maybe a little dehydrated. Maybe, I mean, when you get dehydrated, you have a little bit of a little bit of heat exhaustion. Thoughts or don't be a child. Oh, very good one, Insidious. How'd you do that? 1 postseason berth in 23 years. LOL. That's not this team's fault. That's the ownership's fault. That is everyone who came before this team's fault. That is not this team's fault. Get over it. My player of the day is any Red Sox player that scores a run against Houston. Facts. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he was just dehydrated and got a little dizzy. I really do. I think that, Thomas says he talked about it. Munoz talked about it after he got dizzy, lightheaded. Yeah. So I think he was probably just a little bit dehydrated. That's best guess. So I was honestly surprised that he stayed in this game. I was shocked. I really thought that he was going to be pulled from this game and they were going to have someone else come in. But he just I mean, good for Mooney to be able to stick it out. Good for Mooney to be able to, get the job done on. I mean, he obviously ended up walking Gunnar Henderson. He gives up that base hit to Adley. Things get a little scary there, but you get to Ryan Mountcastle, who just hasn't been great. He did what he had, what you would expect from Ryan Mountcastle. You know what I mean? Or how you would expect to execute versus Ryan Mountcastle. Now, Mountcastle's been fine in the past, but yeah, it sounds like Munoz should be good moving forward. I was worried at first, let me tell you, but who would I have gone to in that situation if Munoz has to leave the game? I don't know, because it sounds like Brash is down. Maybe Caleb Ferguson. That's the only one I could think of. Maybe Caleb Ferguson. So, that's the only other person I think that makes sense there. But, I mean, you could maybe turn it over. Well, you already used Bizzardo. Never mind. Yeah, Ferguson. If Brash is down, I would assume you go to Ferguson. You thought that Mountcastle foul ball was a home run? Dude, you and me both. Let's also talk about tomorrow with the game likely getting postponed. So, is it supposed to pour rain tomorrow? No, dude. No. No, that's a bummer. Decided to put out the Twitch stream now. Yeah, we've been doing it for a while. Yeah, I honestly thought that ball was getting out too. I didn't realize it's supposed to rain tomorrow. That's a bummer. Well, let's say tomorrow. So who is it tomorrow? It's Logan on the mound versus Trevor Rogers, left-handed pitcher. Maybe they move up the start time of the game. Could they do that? Could they move up the? I don't think they could move up the start time of the game, but I think that would be the right thing to do, but I don't think they can. I just don't think he was available today, Chase. If I'm guessing, so just build a roof, idiots. It's so easy. Just build a roof. Figure it out. Move the games to Seattle. I agree. Okay, well, if that's the case and we have the doubleheader on Thursday, I don't know. I think the Mariners definitely have a good chance to win this series. You really need to come out, if there is a game tomorrow, you need to come out and win the Logan Gilbert start. Again, Logan Evans has been fine, has been great, but I think that you need to win the Logan Gilbert start. $2 from Mike E says, breaking news, Mariners signed Bobby Boucher. Okay, I'm in. The water boy, I'm in. Very Mariners win, it was. 20% chance of rain during the game. Okay. Thunderstorms early afternoon, so maybe they'll get thundered out. Yeah, Thursday's game does start at 10 a.m. Wednesday and Thursday looks ass on the app? Frick. I hate the East Coast. Like, just build a roof, idiots. Figure it out. Rick Riz and Hyphen was a duo I didn't know I needed. Honestly, I was surprised. Because I tuned into the game at work. And I was surprised that Rick was on the broadcast. Because I know that Aaron was, out on vacation or what have you. I just wasn't expecting Rick to be on the broadcast. And so it was it was a very cool experience. I don't know if I've ever heard Rick on the broadcast, but him and Hyphen together were very, very good. Very good. Looking good, Mr. Colton. Thank you so much, Kyle Jones, 6960. Cal Raleigh will hit a home run as lightning strikes. Dude, they keep talking about how this team's electric, chat. Could you imagine oh, God. Like someone holding a trident with a lightning strike in the background? I would be feeling feelings. I saw somebody talk about the top 100 prospects for MLB Pipeline, and yeah, let's talk about that really quick. The Mariners have 9 top 100 prospects on MLB Pipeline. At number 11 is Colt Emerson. Number 11. They have 4 guys? 4 or 5 guys in the top 50 prospects in all of baseball, chat. With Cade Anderson coming in at number 22. He was just drafted. Coming in at number 22. That's so cool. Bought a couple old jerseys for me and the fiance in honor of these badass Mariners. W. We love that. We love that. Mr. Garda with the 199 went to the Cubs series, and the weather was so hot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the boys would rather play in, like 100-degree weather with like massive humidity or rain, but just have a roof and you don't have to friggin' worry about that. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that 199 guarded. Yeah, and that's the series. Is that the series where Thornton had like heat exhaustion? Or no? Or no? Doesn't Just Baseball have Emerson at like 6? Or something like that? Colton, do you think Cal will get a day off tomorrow with Solano 3 for 4 versus Rogers and Naylor also hit well versus Rogers? Potentially. I think there's some potential for that. I doubt it, though. I don't think Cal wants a day off. But I would assume that Garv is probably in there catching tomorrow versus a lefty, so Cal can catch again on Sunday. If I had to guess, that's what's going to happen. If the game is played tomorrow. That's obviously a big if for this team right now. But yeah, I think that there's a possibility that you give Cal the day off at some point during this series, and tomorrow probably does make the most sense. So, do I think that Colt Emerson should be higher? No. I think that Colt Emerson is at 11 is a fine spot. Is a fine spot, honestly. Aaron Serbeck with the 350 says, Furious George been gutting the ERA. 371 now. Yeah, he's been great. I think that the biggest thing for George is just his efficiency. Because, again, we know how often he's in the strike zone. Guys are going to be able to fight pitches off of George. And he's kind of been working through that a little bit. I think July was the most walks he's ever issued in a single month. And that might have been by design, chat. I mean, that might be just something, a way that George Kirby is going about pitching at this juncture in his career is, you know, maybe throwing the ball outside the strike zone a little bit, because he gets hit when he's in the strike zone the whole time. He gets hit around a little bit, and so, I don't know. I think that with where George is at, they were talking about it. They were talking about it a little bit on the broadcast, or maybe it was the radio. I don't remember. I was listening to it on the way home, but that if you take out his first like 2 starts, which obviously you can't do that, and you know you're playing narrative ball and whatnot, but you take out his first 2 starts and he has an ERA below 3. Like that's the George that we're used to seeing. And it really does feel like if he can go 6 every night, if he can basically give you if he can give you a quality start every time out there, I think that we are in a really good spot. You need Logan to go out there and give you some more quality starts. He has to. He absolutely needs to go out there and give you 6 or 7 innings tomorrow. Has to. You against a team like the Orioles, this is a team that you should be able to beat up on. I want that win streak to extend to 10. I want a sweep. Obviously, everybody wants a sweep, but if you can extend that win streak to 10, I can all but guarantee you that you have that you are first place in the division by the end by the 10th win. You could be in first place tonight. Actually, what is the score of the Red Sox game? Hold on. Let's see. Yankees are up 5-1 on the Twins. L. Rangers are up 2-1 on the Diamondbacks. What are they good for? Red Sox are up 2-0 on the Stros. W. Do you think that Cal will get moved to first base if his knees start? Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit when Cal first signed his extension. I do think that eventually Cal Raleigh will be a first baseman. I don't know when that's going to be. But I think that, towards the end of his extension, I don't think it's going to be in the next 2 or 3 years. I think it'll be maybe the year 5 of this extension, or even in his contract year. Damn, Colton, drink your chug jug, bro. Dude, I scarfed down dinner. I was making dinner, and I scarfed it down like in the 9th inning. So now I'm working through it, you know what I mean? And something's not sitting right in my throat. But yeah, I think that Cal will eventually go to first base just to save his knees and keep his bat in the lineup. But Brewers chase Skeens in the 4th. Let's talk about the Brewers, chat. What the hell is up with that baseball team and their devil magic, right? They had like what, an 11-game win streak or whatever, and now they're on another one. What the hell's going on with that team, and how are they the best team in baseball? I don't understand it. Didn't the Mariners win the series versus the Brewers, or no? No, maybe they lost the series, but they at least ended the win streak, right? Or am I tripping? Okay, so they ended the win streak, but yeah, they didn't win the series. But I'm very surprised that that they are as good as they have been. Truly. They're a track team playing ball. They're fast. They are fast, but they're not. Like, they don't have many good hitters on that team. I don't know. It's very weird to me. Their pitching staff's been great, though. They're cheating, plain and simple. The nation will snooze at a Brewers-Mariners World Series. You think the Mariners would be the favorites in that? I think the Mariners would be the favorites in that just because people want them to win. Is the Julio narrative about his cold starts also dead to me? What's dead to me? Listen, Julio gets off to cold starts. It happens. So be it. What we have for dinner? We had some hot dogs. We'd be regretting the Geno trade if the team wasn't rolling right now. Tyler Locklear's not doing much better, Chet. Tyler Locklear's hitting like 140. He has 2 home runs, but he's hitting like 140. Don't get me wrong. If the Mariners are unable to either re-sign Geno or what have you, then yeah, it's a trade that you know that you're probably going to end up losing in the long run. But in the short term, listen, Geno's been struggling. There's obviously zero doubt about that. He has not been good since he came back. Eugenio Suarez is a professional hitter. He's been in this league a long time. I really do think that he is going to have some big moments for this team down the stretch. I do. Because it's Geno. You know what I mean? If Eugenio Suarez has a big moment in the playoffs this year, I don't give a damn about what Tyler Locklear does for the next 6. I don't care. I truly don't care if Geno has a big moment in the playoffs this year. Locklear could be the best first baseman for the next 6 years. It was a good idea. It was a good trade. Those are the moves that you have to make as a baseball team that is trying to win a pennant. You have to make those kind of moves, both with Josh Naylor. Obviously, Naylor's been great since he's come over. He's been kind of the heart and soul of this team since he came over. Geno's been struggling, but you know what? The lineup around him is able to pick him up, and once he gets going, he's going to pick up some guys that start struggling here later on this season. It's going to happen. And I don't know if you guys watched it, when he was going through, or when Munoz was kind of going through that dizzy spell, you know who was right there talking him through it, telling him, he was like, hey, breathe. Like, breathe. He called the trainer out. Geno is a leader. Geno is the guy that is a voice in that clubhouse. The guys respect him. The guys love him. Obviously, everywhere Eugenio Suarez is gone, the fans love him. Every single time. Truly. Should I yell at Vic, Rayleigh, or Bryce tomorrow? Let Vic know I said hi. Tell him Mariner Mojo says hi. Just kidding. Victor has no idea who we are. He has no idea who we are. But, again, if, like, with how much Geno means to this team, yeah, he's struggling at the plate. There is zero doubt about that. I truly believe he'll pull back out and be the guy we know. I do. But the leadership that he brings, the veteran presence that he brings, and frankly, the good vibes that he brings, Eugenio Suarez is the guy. And this was a good trade for the Mariners, in my opinion, because of that. Geno is definitely going into the Hall of Very Good. Yep. I'm worried about what we do with Robles. I don't want Dom out of the lineup, and Polo is a good DH right now. Thoughts? I think that Dom and Victor, I think that they probably platoon. I do. I think that Victor will be in there versus lefties. Dom will be in there versus righties. And that's going to be the plan moving forward. Victor is slated to come back right at the beginning of September, meaning that he'll be there for September call-ups, as long as he is healthy. So 12-0 Brewers. The Brewers are ridiculous. Yeah, I'm excited for the way the rest of this season looks. Chat. Again, if we're still talking about the Tyler Locklear for Geno trade, listen, that's the risk that you have to take when you're planning on competing for a division. And the Mariners, for better or for worse, haven't necessarily always done that, but they did it this year, and I think that it says something about where this team views themselves right now. And clearly, it's given the guys a huge boost. There's a 0% chance that this team is on an 8-game win streak, and would be like, an 11 or 12 game win streak had they not blew that game versus the Rangers. This team would not be on the run that they're on right now without the moves they made at the deadline. Full stop. Full stop. And a lot of that is obviously Naylor has been quite good. Ferguson's come up in big spots, but also just the confidence that probably instilled in the guys on this team when ownership went out there and got the guys you needed, filled the positions of need, right? I mean, we even saw Cal talk about it and how it was really cool to see ownership kind of pull through. That is one of the reasons why this team is competing the way they are right now. Hader is on the IL right now. Yep, Hader did go to the IL. He did today. So that's a big blow to that Astros bullpen, and they DFA'd Neris, which is a bummer. But Geno could never hit the ball again, and simply seeing Stanton pony up means it's a win for me. Honestly, I mean, I'd love to see Geno, pick it up a little bit, but yeah, the fact that the Mariners went out and did it, the move that they went out there and had nearly a perfect deadline. Nearly. I wish they would have added a leverage reliever. It's in the past now. It happened. Whatever. It's the best deadline in Mariners history, full stop. It's not possible to name a better one. A great prospect gets a chance for a future now, and the Mariners get a boost now for this year. Yep. Tyler Locklear wasn't going to play for this team. He wasn't. I don't know. Obviously, the Mariners are planning on trying to... the Mariners have to be planning to try to re-sign Josh Naylor. Otherwise, I don't know what the hell they're going to do at first base. Actually, I don't even know. Hold on. Who all on the first base market? Let's see. MLB, free agents. First base, you have Pete Alonso if he decides to opt out, which also... Shout out to Pete Alonso for going out and hitting a home run today that gave him the most home runs in Mets history. Very, very cool for Pete. Rhys Hoskins is going to be a free agent. Ty France is going to be a free agent. Josh Naylor is obviously the big one. Ryan O'Hearn will be a free agent. Donovan Solano, Rowdy Tellez, Justin Turner, all in a row is crazy to me. But those are the first basemen. The Mariners have to be planning to try to get Josh Naylor this offseason and re-signing him. And if they don't, they have to go out. He needs to be priority number one, in my opinion. If he doesn't come back, the Mariners need to go out there and make a pretty decent sized trade to go get a star-ish first baseman. What does Geno's contract look like? It's up at the end of this year. It's up at the end of this year. I think that if you're talking about an extension for him, I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season plays out, but as of right now, I would assume that he commands $23 to $25 million a year. Naylor will be a 5-year, $100 million plus contract. I agree. I think that he's going to make $20 million plus a year. I do. Seeing people say over 100 million for Naylor, I really don't think it takes that much. He's a hefty first baseman only. I mean that so. I don't know. I don't care how heavy he is. You know what I mean? He hits the baseball, and so I think that $100 million is certainly reachable for him. If the Astros lose tonight, are we in first with a tiebreaker? Yep. The Mariners would be in first if the Astros lose tonight. The Mariners will be in first place, because now they're tied right now in the season series. That takes precedent. So the Mariners own the tiebreaker at least until they play the Astros again later this year. But I'm pretty sure the Mariners have a better interdivision record, I believe is the right term, than the Astros do. In which case they own the tiebreaker in that scenario. So go Mariners, shine bright, hell yeah, West Coast. I support my beefy boys. Don't get it twisted. I got you, Aaron. If he returns in 2025, I would give him 3 years at $75 million. Yeah, I mean, if you could get Gino for like a 2 years 50 with like maybe a player option or maybe a club option for the third year, I would love for it to be like a 2 year with an option of some kind. I don't know if Gino is going to be willing to take somewhat of a discount to just stick with the team, but if he is, I would love for the Mariners to bring Gino back. If you bring Eugenio Suarez back, and if you bring Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor back, chat, I think the Mariners should be favorites to win the World Series next year. Could you imagine this team for a full season? With how, I mean, I don't think, obviously Cal won't have, the year that he's having, right? You might not see, as decent of a year as Polo's having. But if you get Naylor instead of Donovan Solano and Rowdy Tellez, and you get Gino, who, I mean, don't get me wrong, Ben Williamson was fine, but if you get Gino, I mean, yeah. But again, if the Mariners, and I agree with Aaron, if the Mariners decide to not re-sign Gino and to go with Ben Williamson, I'm fine with that as long as they re-sign Naylor. As long as they re-sign Naylor, I am fine with that. Silverbane, I honestly have to disagree with you, Silverbane, that they were burned by the Cano deal. Cano was fantastic here, and they traded him and got out from underneath his contract. Robinson Cano was worth every single penny for the Seattle Mariners. Every single penny. And they got out from underneath that contract because the Mets are stupid. Mike E with the 5. If the Mariners win the World Series, does ownership open up their wallets or shrink the budget? I would hope that they would open their wallets. I'm really hoping that what they did at the deadline is a sign for the ownership that, hey, you know what? Like, this team, the opportunity is now. I would hope it would open their wallets. But I don't know if I can have that. I don't know if I can have that trust, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't think they're going to go up near the luxury tax. I don't think they're going to, have a $230 million payroll next year. But because obviously Garver is coming off the books, Mitch Haniger's coming off the books, Leody Taveras is coming off the books. There's a potential for Jorge Polanco to come off the books because it's a mutual vesting option, so he can decline it. And if he does, he's making $6 million this year. I wouldn't blame him, or next year. I wouldn't blame him if he decided to decline it to go get more money. I wouldn't be shocked. But I'll be honest, if the Mariners win the World Series, I'll trade it for 130 losses the next season. If the Mariners won the World Series and then lost 130 games the next year, that would be hilarious. That would honestly be so funny. What do you think of the fans booing Stanton at the Ichiro ceremony? I was bummed at our fan base for doing that. Not the time nor the place. Listen, John Stanton has screwed this team over for years and years and years. I don't think that the good faith that was shown at this, at this trade deadline, and even the fact that it is, like Rob Manfred getting booed during the draft, I think is fantastic. He deserves it. I think that John Stanton deserves what's coming to him, if that's the case. Now, again, I appreciate John Stanton and the owners for opening up their pocketbooks at this deadline. I need to see it a couple more times before I'm ready to stop booing John Stanton. Truthfully. Look at how full the ballpark is with them winning. Yeah, who would have thought, right, chat? Who would have thought that if... I mean, obviously it was, Ichiro weekend, but who would have thought that you put together a good baseball team, you start winning baseball games, and people want to come to watch your baseball team? I know that I know that John Stanton might not understand that, but from New Mexico, let's go West Coast. Smooches, bro. Smooches, bro. Yeah. I think that with how expensive it is to go to a Mariners game, you know what I mean? And for them to, if the Mariners were losing, why would anybody want to go? Why would anybody want to go? Whereas if the team is winning, at least you have a reason to go, even if it's expensive. Now, again, chat, there's a video on our channel for how you can go to a Mariners game for less than $20. It's true. It's true. It exists. And now it involves taking the light rail. So if you're not near a light rail station or a train station, that makes things a little bit more difficult. I'm sorry, maybe it was under 30. I think it was under $30. Like, you can still go to a game for cheap. It's just not as convenient and takes a little bit more time. That's the way that I've been doing it because, frankly, the bank account's not happy with me this year. So I've been taking the light rail a lot this year to get to games. But, yeah, it's people, if the team starts winning and you have good players, people will show up. Like, it's like, I don't understand why that's so difficult for the ownership to understand. Guards are 6 games over. Who do they think they are? I know. Right? Stupid Guardians. Ownership's greed is what caused this all. Root Sports was their biggest mistake. Yeah. I think that with everything that ownership has said over the past couple of years, we're going to, cut back on spending. We're going to, we're not making as much money from Root Sports, therefore we have to cut back on spending. Like, no. I don't, like, ownership deserves to be booed. They do. Multi-billionaires deserve to be booed when they're not spending the money on the thing that they own. They deserve to be booed. Yep, Super Beast, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on that. But again, eight wins in a row for this Mariners team. They have potentially a game tomorrow. Logan Gilbert on the hill. I feel good about it. Now, Trevor Richards has been good. You're going to probably have the right-handed, hitter and Garver in there. You might have Polo playing second base. Yeah, I think that there's plenty of options for this Mariners team. But if the game gets played tomorrow, I feel good about it for them going out there and attacking Trevor Richards early. And then, of course, the game on Thursday, Logan Evans on the mound. I mean, Evans, I think, will be fine, but it's just hard to tell. It's hard to tell, if he's going to be, how he's going to fare in a ballpark like Baltimore, which is, frankly, a hitter-friendly ballpark. But hopefully the Mariners are able to sweep this series, get that win streak to 10. I need it injected into my veins. Chat room, I am going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys being here for a little 40-minute stream at 6:30 in the afternoon. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going out and eating dinner or making dinner right now. So, enjoy. And, yeah, truly appreciate you guys stopping by. We will be live again tomorrow if there is a game. If there's no game, we won't be live. The podcast is coming out on Friday. Just so you guys know. The podcast is coming out Friday morning instead of Thursday because it's a day game, 10 o'clock game on Thursday. So, and then I'm not going to be home till I don't know what time on Thursday. So keep that in mind. But again, appreciate you guys, and hopefully I'll talk to you tomorrow.